There were a lot of American fans supporting England, and you could spot them because they were wearing their club T-shirts. It's a cardinal sin if you're in England to wear your club shirts to watch England. You should always be wearing an England shirt. But
Very
so
true.
there was lots of Arsenal fans. They completely jumped on the bandwagon.
If in doubt, kick it out. Not if in doubt, pass it sideways to Vinicius Junior and let him tap it into an empty net. It's just put that into row Z. Just get rid of the thing. And they did it over and over, trying to overplay out from the back. And I know that's the way everyone does it these days. You're a coach. You probably coach your kids to play it out from the back. But that was not a day to play it out from the back. Not the first 5 minutes, anyway. Hello and welcome to Random Fandom's World Cup Diary number 4. I'm Rob, that's John, and things are getting spicy in the World Cup. The group stage is wrapping up, and next time we record, I think the first set of knockout games will have happened. So, but before we get into that, John, how are you doing? And how was the Ghana game?
The Ghana game was good if you're a neutral, good for a 0-0, but dreadful if you're an England fan. It was just a case of Ghana going to a back 4 or 5 if you
or 8.
And then just defending with a low block and just happy to see out a 0-0 draw, and which they achieved quite easily.
Which end of the pitch were you in respect to when Harry Kane had a little off moment on the edge of the 6-yard box?
I was facing the goal, so you can see it here. This is the picture I took from my seat.
Yeah, but which goal? Far end or right in front of you?
Right in front of me.
Oh, I was convinced that was at the moment that fell out the sky. I thought, well, this is 1-0.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be. Yeah, it's just one of those. I didn't realize what an awful record England have got in the second game of group stages in tournaments. Like, we just have a second game curse where we just forget how to play.
The last 4 tournaments in the World Cup and the Euros, yes, it's finished with a draw, either 0-0 or 1-1, and so here we go. As right on key.
Yeah, but as I was saying to a few of my friends here, it's like no one actually cares or remembers how you get out of a group. And I think some of my American friends have started to calm down a little bit on the whole win 3 out of 3, because obviously they didn't. And and it doesn't matter. It's like Italy famously back in the day when they were good and qualified for tournaments and won it, they would limp their way through the group, almost kind of just get over the line and then turn it on in the knockouts. So I'm so excited to see what happens in the knockouts. But let's
totally agree with you, Rob. Totally agree with you. Yeah, unless you're there.
What do you mean, unless you're there?
Unless you're at the game, and then you're like,
yeah. I mean, nothing.
That's an expensive ticket that to watch a 0-0.
Oh yeah, I did think that. Yeah. Like if England were going to mess up and have a draw, it would have been so much better if it had been a score and draw for you. You literally got to see nothing. Sorry.
They scored in warm up.
Looks like you had fun tailgating beforehand, and mixing with ex-professionals outside the ground.
Yes. Wayne Routledge of Swansea fame was there. We met him. We had a really good time. I had an American friend come with me, and there's 2 English friends. There were a lot of American fans supporting England, and you could spot them because they were wearing their club T-shirts. It's a cardinal sin if you're in England to wear your club shirts to watch England. You should always be wearing an England shirt. But
so
there was lots of Arsenal fans. They completely jumped on the bandwagon.
Gotta love the bandwagon. Gotta love the champions bandwagon.
Yeah, but there were some hard suffering, Tottenham fans, American Tottenham fans. That's quality. Good to see. But yeah, the atmosphere was. It was very different. I've watched England many times before at Wembley, and this wasn't a typical England it was just a lot of Americans cheering on England. So it was unique to my
Oh,
England watching experience. So very different.
nice.
But the um, the occasion was great. We were mixing with the Ghana fans, and um, the atmosphere was just fantastic. Really,
Oh,
really
good.
enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I got a little snippet. I didn't go to a game, unfortunately, but I was down, worked for the day in New York yesterday, and on the train on the way down, just as the closer we got to Penn Station, there were just more and more German and Ecuador fans getting onto the train, and there were shuttle buses from just outside the station, which is just outside my office, was taking everybody off to the stadium. Just brilliant, just mixing with all those guys. And then at the end of the day, I went and had a pint at the bar before I got on the train, and bumped into some Norwegian fans and carried on onto the Amtrak with them. So shout out to Andreas, Oliver, and Victor. They were just so excited to be going and watching the game today. It's just finished. It wouldn't have been the biggest spectacle for them, and also if you paid a lot of money for the ticket, you didn't see any of the stars because Norway rested everybody.
Yeah, and it's a very very strange quote by Haaland before the game.
Yeah, when they were on about all being rested, it was like, well, we're going to lose
He's
anyway, and they're going to win the World Cup, or
yeah
whatever it was. It was,
yeah. I'm hoping that was a smattering of sarcasm, but
oh yeah, Norwegian mind games.
yeah, exactly.
Well, so that was the latest game that's just finished. There's been a ton of them since we last recorded. I think the highlights for me, I know you, I don't want to steal your John's gems, but obviously we had Messi show in the second in Argentina's second game that the first game wasn't a fluke. We had France obviously demolished Iraq and they've gone on and beaten Norway. Other things that caught my eye was yet again we got some sort of turnips that we probably weren't expecting. So I was kind of looking at Ecuador beating Germany, but I don't want to go too much into that because I know it's in your John's Gem, so I'm going to leave that one alone. But the one that actually I was quite surprised at actually was that I really thought that the which game is it now? It's the one that we'd sort of said about whether it's going to be a drab brawl was the Paraguay Australia, and I'm glad I didn't stay up for it because I honestly thought that it was going to be two teams trying to see who could get through into that second position. They both just sort of just rated, just dialed it in for the day and went, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll sort that out later. Just awful. They went to go and watch the highlights, and literally there's like 10 seconds of the highlights with the anthem. It was just anyway. All those scores that we predicted or didn't predict, we had a few that we absolutely got bang on, and John went on a little bit of a run where he got a couple sort of bob on, and I was falling behind. I was falling behind big time. And the sliding doors game, I think, in our little Rob versus John is going to be Switzerland against Canada because I had Switzerland at 2-1 winners. You had it at 2-2. The Swiss went, I think, 2-0 up, and then Canada just remembered how to play. They
Hmm.
got one back, and oh my God, there were so many opportunities that was going to be a perfect score for you. And I was like, just blow up,
Yeah.
ref, blow up.
Yeah, it's Canada let me down again,
I know.
again. That
Again,
will.
so
So I've predicted them to lose the next game. I've had enough of Canada.
well, it was 2-1, so that swung it back in my favour. Then there was a little run of me getting a point and you didn't, so I'm clawing it back. So after all the games, I think we both predicted the same thing for the Norway France game. So there's going to be nothing in that. We both predicted Senegal to win, so there's
Well,
going to be
well,
nothing. We'll go on.
can I just say we both would have got the perfect score for Norway
If
France
they'd
if
put the
they'd scored their
penalty in.
bloody penalty. Yeah.
I know. We said 3-2 and it finishes 3-1. But what that means is right now,
Four
if
one,
I had
4-1. They got a
sorry,
goal at
4
the
1,
end.
4 1. They got the roll, the header from Douay. Yeah. If we had the 2 points to us for the correct outcome of the France game and the Senegal game, that means you have 38 to my 36. So it's looking a lot healthier than when I was falling 6 points behind. So happy about that one. Right. Okay. We've mentioned it a couple of times. Let's find out what caught your eye in John's Gems. All right, over to you for your podium. I see this time we don't have like 15,000 things on each step of the podium, which is nice that you're actually realizing you need three things. So well done.
Yeah, well, I snuck a couple in, but under one heading. So
I did notice that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in third, Um, I'd like to an honourable mention for the referee in the England Ghana game, because I'm moaning that we tied 0-0, we drew 0-0, but it could have been a lot worse for England had the ref awarded the penalty, which was a definite penalty,
Ponsa
100%.
takes him out, doesn't he? There's no, I don't understand how.
Yes, it's a flying kick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see how in real time he thinks it's maybe a little bit of a coming together and there's nothing in it. Okay, fine. We were praising last time that VAR they've been letting the on-field decision stand unless
Mm.
it's a clear and obvious error. That one looked clear and obvious to me. I was
Yep.
like, every time they showed the replay, I was like, oh my gosh, I was just waiting for the kind of the square signal to go to the monitor. It's like, yeah, this is going to be a pen. And they were like, yeah, VAR's checked and cleared it. I'm like, they didn't watch what we just watched then.
And their manager was like, "Well, VAR must have gone for a coffee." Yeah,
It was a
but he
great
was
quote.
his next Man U manager, so that made it all the better. And I mean, he could have sent off Pickford as well.
He didn't touch the ball, did he? He did.
No, no, doesn't touch the ball. That should have been a sending off. I mean, if he'd given the penalty to Garner, he might have had to send off Konza as well. So we did get away with one there.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I should be a lot more thankful for that 0-0 draw actually. So yeah. So well done, referee. um,
Well done, referee, for being wrong.
for being completely wrong. Yeah, and VAR. It
Okay,
doesn't happen
nice.
often, does it?
True,
Doesn't
true.
happen often.
What's on your second step then?
So second step is team performances, right? Um, in in a in a one would be my individual performances, but in team performances, two teams have really impressed me. Don't know about you, Rob, but the Netherlands looked absolutely formidable in their last two games. So, I mean, do they? I'm not sure who they go on to play, but yeah, they look scary. I wouldn't want to draw them at the moment.
No,
Lots of different scorers as well.
well, that was the thing I would say. They've got Morocco in the next round on
Oh,
Monday,
that'll
so
be a
that could be quite a good
cracker.
game because Morocco
Yeah.
gave Brazil a good run for their money. So
Mm.
yeah, I think because they're sharing the goals around, they're the opposite of like what you said you got in your top step, the individual performances, because there isn't one person you probably pick out in the Netherlands team and say that that person is making them tick. They just seem to be sharing it around. Everyone's sort of
Hmm.
playing well, so yeah, they do look a bit good.
Yeah.
But that's the classic Netherlands, right? Best team to never win the World Cup. So they'll look good all the
Yeah.
way until about the semi-final, and then they'll have some internal fight that makes it into the press that so and so doesn't like so and then it'll all fall apart, and then we'll be going, oh, another one that they didn't win.
Good. Good.
Good.
Let's hope that happens. Yeah, and then Ecuador beating Germany. Ecuador were a lot of people's dark horses, not mine, but they decided to wake up on the last game and a great victory against Germany, which sees them get into the round of
Yeah,
32.
yeah.
So um, they're getting good. Their defense is excellent, really good. But the question was, would they score? And they found the net twice against Germany. So I wouldn't want to be drawing them either.
No, and another one I'd like to add. I'm hoping we
Mm,
can add into your team performances because they already deserve it. But if they can do it tonight, Cape Verde can beat Saudi and make it through, then it's another one, not as high profile as Netherlands, but another one where a team has been the sum of all the parts rather than any individual. The keeper's been
yeah,
amazing, but I do hope they win tonight.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me too. Me too. And then in at number one, it's the individual performances. So obviously I've included lots of people here, but it's Messi. Obviously, he
Yep.
is the standout player for me of this tournament so far. Mbappe is very close behind. Haaland, Elanga for me
Yeah.
has just been sensational. He didn't play in the first game. Um, the um, the manager had him on the bench, but when he came on, he was just sensational. But he he carried the team through the last game. Absolutely sensational
Did you
goal as
see
well.
did you see the end of the game yesterday? Was it
Hmm.
yesterday? So it was the Japan draw, and I think it was Elanga that was down on the turf, like with his head in his
Mm,
hands, because
yeah.
he thought they were out. And Potter had already told him we just need a draw to get through. So he basically dismissed it. He said, "Look, silly boy. I don't know why he's looking so upset. I told him we'd be fine."
Well, he's the only one that seemed bothered on the team. I think he wanted to win that game. I think he's got some personal goals. He's looking absolutely 100% determined, and I just wish he was getting more help. But sensational performance again, very very good. And then Robbie of the Netherlands, Sunderland striker, sensational. He's done really really well. And did you know, Rob? Um, let's see. Let's little quiz here for you, right?
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Putting you right on the spot. There are. Do you know the top four clubs that have the highest scorers in the World Cup so far?
Mm, Premier League wise,
No, no,
I
no, no. The top four clubs.
no, because there was a post, and I can't remember which team admin it was that had posted it because they said top scoring Premier League team in the World Cup, and it was someone that you wouldn't expect. I can't think of who it was now. It was maybe it
Well, do you want me to give you the top two teams?
was it Sunderland? But
With 9 goals, it's Real Madrid.
oh yeah,
How,
okay.
how, how couldn't you get that? That's pretty obvious, right? And then with 6, it's PSG. I mean, how can you
So
not get that, Rob?
Mbappe's scored like four or five or whatever it is. Who else? I can't even
Mm.
think who else is.
Well, that doesn't include the Dembele hat trick today.
No, no, no,
It'll
no.
be
So
it'll
I
be
was
updated after that. But so we got Real Madrid at first, and then you got PSG, and then third is Crystal Palace,
Crystal Palace. That was the team that posted it. I
and
couldn't see. Yeah.
and fourth is Sunderland.
Wow. Wow.
So,
God. Daylight robbery. Um.
oh
Sorry,
dear,
I
dear,
had
oh
to try and
dear.
sneak that in somehow. I'm not sure. Right. Okay. But for every up, there's a down. So we have to go and visit Rob's rubbish. And I'm really sorry on this one. I'm really, really sorry to all Scottish listeners. You can turn off now for 30 seconds, or maybe don't even come back. But Scotland's attempt to fight for their place was just awful. It was just I expected blood and thunder. I expected to make it really hard for Brazil and get in their face and like maybe some early bookings while they just kind of tried to out physical fight against Brazil. And it just turned into a really, really nervous performance at the back where they just looked they cracked under the pressure and gift wrapped Brazil 2 goals. Like you can't give Brazil a head start. If you're Scotland, you're trying to dig in for as long as possible, see if you can maybe snatch one on the counter attack. But beyond all else, well, like we were probably drilled it. I was as a kid. I don't know if you were, John, but if in doubt, kick it out. Not if in doubt, pass it sideways to Vinicius Junior and let him tap it into an empty net. It's just put that into row Z. Just get rid of the thing. And they did it over and over, trying to overplay out from the back. And I know that's the way everyone does it these days. You're a coach. You probably coach your kids to play it out from the back, but that was not a day to play it out from the back. Not the first 5 minutes, anyway.
No, and they just done the same to Morocco the game before. They'd conceded a very early goal, and it's like, come on, like let's start positively. The goalkeeper made a clearance, and it was an absolutely beautiful pass out to Robertson on the left hand side. And if he'd touched the ball forward, he would have had a breakaway. But he touched the ball backwards, and I was like, oh boy, oh boy, this is going to be a negative Scotland. And yeah, before you knew it, they're losing 2-0. So
Uh,
very
3
very
0. Oh, no, but if they
well,
end up losing 3-0, right? But
yeah. I mean, as it was, they probably did quite well not to concede any more to stand in a slight chance of getting in, which is probably all but over now.
so I was going to just double check that because I think I've got this right. Right now they're out because they're sitting ninth in the table of
Yes.
best third place places. And the only way that I can see they can get back in, but I haven't done all the mental gymnastics here, is that Algeria is sitting above them on 3 points. They're going to play later against Austria. And they've got
Mm.
-2 to Scotland's -3, but they've scored two and Scotland have only scored one. So I imagine if its goal difference is tied, it probably goes to goals scored. So I think they need Austria to beat Algeria by 2 goals, and then that would drop Algeria below Scotland and promote them back up into eighth. But they've got a hope
Mm.
that nobody lurking down below them, which unfortunately includes Belgium, win their
And
games or draw because
oh
they'll then jump a couple of them again. Or my little dark horse of Cape Verde, if they do beat Saudi, they'll go shooting straight up the table of. So I think Scotland are screwed.
well, South Korea could and Croatia. If
They get battered.
no, South Korea's a yeah.
No,
Croatia would have
South
to
Korea finished.
lose.
South Korea finished.
Yeah,
Either Croatia would need to get battered or Algeria need to get battered. Maybe both.
Croatia getting battered by Ghana. I can't see it. Can you?
No, not after the way they dug in.
No,
No.
no.
So sorry, Scotland, but I just expect I wanted more for you. I wanted Scotland to go through. I'm not one of those England fans that takes pleasure in sort of seeing the other home countries either not qualify or go out. I actually want Scotland to go through, but I guess like the Dumb and Dumber thing, you're telling me there's a chance. There's still a chance that they could get through. Right, number two on my pile of steaming turds is funny because it kind of backfired in FIFA's face. FIFA, and I know why they do it, right? Before anyone shouts at me, I know lots of official sponsors pay lots and lots and lots of money to get their logos on everything around the world. Yeah. So FIFA have tried to ban non-official sponsors by making them cover things up for companies that haven't paid the bucks to be seen on TV. They're making them cover things up. The problem is it's backfired and gone the opposite way. So Levi Stadium, because Levi the jeans are not a sponsor of the World Cup. They made them put this big tarpaulin over the Levi sign outside the stadium. But the way the tarpaulin hangs down, you can still read Levi through the tarpaulin. And that picture's gone viral and had something like 9 million likes or whatever it was. So, in a bizarre way, hiding the logo got them more exposure. There was Beats, one of the I think French players was wearing some Beats headphones and was made to tape the over the B, which again got more
Bloody hell.
thing. Beats dropped it and said, "You can tell it's a B. Our new model dropping soon." It was a new model of headphones, so they actually got this free publicity because they were taped over. It's like, well, come on, you can't be
Well,
taping over people's headphones of personal use. I mean,
it's
but,
just ridiculous, isn't it? The commercialization of
ah,
football, it is just dreadful. I can't. FIFA are so corrupt. It's just so unbelievably corrupt, and quite frankly, yeah, he needs to go the same way as Blatter went. Infantino. He just needs to be fired and removed. And
I don't think anybody else comes in. I think money talks so much in this game now that whoever comes in is just going to look to maximize. But maybe someone else wouldn't worry about like covering up. It's like they can't even call it the MetLife Stadium on TV. They've come up with a new name that is completely made up of the New Jersey New York Stadium. What? It's a stadium that's in two states. What are you
right,
talking about?
The Gillette Stadium I went to is they've renamed it the Boston Stadium. Yeah. So they've done the same with the SoFi.
Boston Stadium, the best a man
Yeah.
can get.
So we've just
Um,
advertised. We've done a lot of advertising, haven't we? We should have been paid for this
Well, no,
segment.
FIFA might take us down because all we've really done is highlight all the ones that are not part of the World Cup. But okay, so moving on, top of my pile, me, John, and our friend Mike who had a lot of going back and forward on this, and I think we've kind of agreed that two things have come together to make the group games a bit rubbish at the end in terms of a lack of jeopardy. The final games have been too many people that are either already through, like the USA. Didn't matter they lost their game because everything was all, their opponents were out, they were through. People are drawing games because they don't really need to bother. Like today, Norway just taking the day off because they don't need to bother. There's
Hmm.
lack of jeopardy. John's big thing is he thinks it's the head to head instead of the goal difference that screwed it. And while I agree, I think it's also the expanding it to 48 teams has not really worked the way they wanted it to. Because the moment you're not a nice divisible 32 number to go down to the quarterfinal, round of 16, quarterfinal, semis, etc. If you didn't double the World Cup to 64, which then they could have easily just had 16 groups, top two go through and had all the jeopardy, but it would have been a bit silly because it would have been 64 teams. The moment you go 48, you're going to introduce this. Well, now we've got to work out this weird way where lots of teams do go through, and it's almost harder to go out than it is to go through. It's like it's been a bit of a, I don't know, bit of a disappointing group stage, I think.
I've really enjoyed some of the games, but
Games, yeah, yeah.
I've just been a little disappointed that where where we've got to, as you exampled with a couple of those games with the France Norway. I was really looking forward to that game, and Norway didn't pick a proper team, and yeah, it's a little disappointing. I think the head to head is really what creates these dead rubbers. So I think FIFA have to look at that. Of course, they're going to look at it and say, hey, let's use that as an excuse to bring in 64 teams so that we can make even more money and pretend we're a non-profit organization.
Right, okay, we got to get off. We got to get off the cynicism train and
Sorry.
instead, no, that's fine, and disembark that one and jump across the platform because it's all aboard the hype train. Right. Okay.
Whoop,
Because I
whoop.
wasn't sure what I wasn't sure when we were going to record. My first one that I was really looking forward to was Norway France, but that was a bit rubbish in the end because Norway
Mm.
rested all their players. So the next one that will be up tonight, Uruguay Spain. Do you know what? Everyone is sort of picking Spain as the one of the favourites, and rightly so. And as we look at the table right now, Spain have got 4 points, Uruguay have got two, Cape Verde, mighty Cape Verde with two, and Saudi with one. So if Cape Verde pull off pull off the win and go to five,
Uh-huh.
there is a ridiculous situation where, well, depending on the number of goals scored,
Where Spain
um,
Spain would be third team.
yeah, and Cape Verde could win the group. But but so I don't think that either team can risk the this as being a dead rubber where they rest people. I think Spain will want to win,
Mm.
definitely win the group. Uruguay have to because Cape Verde beating Saudi isn't a ridiculous statement. The way they held their own
No?
against Spain, the way they really took it to Uruguay. Saudi are the worst team in the group. They're sitting at the bottom on a single point and -4 goal difference. So there's everything to win there for Cape Verde. So those two, I
Hmm.
think, I think that turns Spain Uruguay into a proper blood and thunder game. I hope.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute cracker. Um, yeah, all to play for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one that I kind of flagged as I think all to play for, um, it's only for top spot really, but it's top spot where the team you maybe thought isn't top yet is the Colombia Portugal one.
Hmm.
I think because Colombia are top there, they won both their games. Portugal, okay, look, I will give kudos. Ronaldo scored his goals. You have to score them, and he did, but it wasn't against the greatest opposition in the group. So to do that big celebration and shout "I'm back" or whatever it was into the camera, I'm like, calm down, fella. None of those others have done that. You haven't had Haaland and Mbappe and Messi coming over shouting "Guess who's back again." So just do it against Colombia and then celebrate because he probably will. He's we kind of wrote him off and he rubbed it in our face by scoring two goals, but it was against probably the worst team in the group. So,
Mm.
but we get abused if we don't apparently go into England enough. So yeah, sorry, Steve. Um, it's not an England podcast. There's a million of those. We're random fandom. We look for all the stories that no one else comes up with. Who else is out there championing Cape Verde as their lead story?
It's true, very true.
But Panama, we got to beat them, right? Got
Um,
it.
well, I mean, they've now seen exactly how to get at England, which is to create a
Not get
low,
at England, and yeah,
get at us psychologically,
that's
not down the field. Yeah, just put 10 players behind the ball and just defend. So it might be a great opportunity to drop Rice because he's clearly suffering with
yeah. He needs
with
some
an
rest.
injury. So he needs to go into a cryo chamber or something. And then you would just have Rice as the holding midfielder. And then
No,
you
yeah,
could.
you can't rest him and have him as the holding midfielder.
Oh, sorry, Anderson.
Anderson, yes, 113 million Manchester City. Anderson, is that who you mean?
That's the very same. Ridiculous. Let's not let's not worry about the league next year already. Um, yeah.
Question:
So.
Do you
Mhm.
drop Barcelona's Gordon for Barcelona's Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I think so. He hasn't played particularly well, and I think he's going to have another game where he's he's going to be Gordon's going to be particularly effective against teams who are coming attacking England, and so he can get in behind them, like he did against Croatia. I mean, Rashford and Gordon are the similar types of players in that they like to run into that space behind. So you could try someone else on their left, or give Rashford a go, or you could even play Morgan Rogers
Rogers,
out
yeah.
out on the left,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
then
If they do low block, then his technical ability in small spaces, I think, is better than
mhm.
Rashford and Barcelona's Gordon.
Yeah.
Um,
So you or Eze you could have out there on the
yeah,
left as well. So I would try a little something different. It also gives the ability to rest rest Gordon, rest Rice. Um, I don't know how fit Saka is, but him and Madueke could share some minutes on the right. Um, let's get a goal from Kane, and then I would, if we're 2-0 up, I'd take Kane off and stick on another one of our strikers, whether it's
do you think
work.
to try to combat a low block? Because I just watched that whole thing set in like you did in the flesh. That just we never mixed it up. We just kind of almost let them play the low block, and then everything gets compressed into the final third of the field, and everyone's got no room to play. So they're just playing sideways, sideways, sideways. You try and coax them out a little bit. They're set. They're not stupid. They're not going to come and just like fall for you trying to pull them out. So they sat in. I always think
Mhm.
like it's just worth maybe a gamble on just into the channels, old school, get the winger to cross it without even looking, and just maybe it's just go aerial for a little bit just to mix it up because cutting out a pass when people are trying to be too intricate around the outside of a low block. One person cuts it out, boom, they kick it or clear it all the way down the field. Pickford picks it up, and then we slowly make our way back up to where we've just been 5 minutes ago. Was I always kind of think if you start a little bit, I'm not saying completely long ball it all the time, but if you just give Panama something different to think about, even if you decided to start Tony and just really go aerial route for a little bit, because
Yeah,
anyway, go
exactly.
on. What do you think?
Well, that's what I would have said. It's pointless having two defensive midfielders in Rice and Anderson. I would have taken Rice off to rest him. Well, he did have a great game, but he's clearly desperate for some rest. And then play Tony. That's what he's there for. He's going to bring something different to that attack, and the defenders are not going to want to play against him. But yeah, we should have thrown more on, especially with 20, 30 minutes to go. So
It was weird because Tuchel kind of didn't seem that bothered. Like he quite happy to just take the point and go, well, I ain't going to chase it. If we get a draw, we get a draw. And okay, I mean, again, going back to the thing we started the episode on, it doesn't really
you
matter
can't.
how you get out of the group as long as you get out. No one cares. But
A draw gives us kind of a 99% chance of qualifying. We'd have to really mess it up now against Panama to not qualify. So I understand
yeah,
that thinking, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen something a bit different, given Tony a chance,
yeah.
and it may be the similar situation with Panama on Saturday. So let's hope he goes for it. Bit more adventurous.
Now the only thing is, just checking the old league table, is that Panama are out, pretty much. No, maybe they're not. Maybe not. If Croatia get beaten by enough and Panama beat us, then there is that chance. So okay, that's what I was hoping for. There is an outside chance that Panama can get through, but sitting in like Ghana did to take the point ain't getting them anywhere. Taking a point, all that does is get them maybe a morale boosting tie against England, but then also sees them hit the plane tickets for the ride home. So on one hand, they do kind of need to come at us if they've got any outside chance of making it through. I think, unless I screwed up reading the
Hmm.
league table, but I think so because if Ghana beat Croatia even by let's say a goal, maybe two, that puts Croatia down because Croatia have got -1 and 3 points, and Panama have got -2 and no points. So
Well,
Panama beat us.
what's the head to head with Croatia and
That's a
Panama?
good point. Oh, it'll be the
See,
head-to-head
and that,
crap, won't it?
yep.
Oh, it's going to be head-to-head.
And what
Yeah,
was
they're out.
yeah,
They've already
yeah.
gone home.
Which
Oh
is
well,
why the head to head is just ridiculous in my opinion.
on that head-to-head. Oh, so
See,
now Panama. Well, no, Panama don't
see,
care. So
see,
they'll.
how exciting would
Hmm.
that have been if that was just goal difference? A lot more jeopardy.
Oh,
So you're right though. They may as well be more attacking, but will they be? I don't know. We will find out. But
we
it's going to
will.
be an exciting game.
We will. We will find out. And by the time we'll probably record again early next week, I think it's Sunday that Canada kick us off in the round of 32. So we're going to have Sunday, South Africa, Canada, and then we've got Brazil against Japan. We got Netherlands against Morocco, and we got Germany against somebody to be determined. I'm really looking forward to be determined. They've looked really good all tournament. So
Look better than Germany, I'd imagine.
Germany, eh, Germany are weird because they looked amazing, obviously when they won 7-1, but I wasn't expecting to lose to Ecuador. And then I looked at the lineups and thought, well, maybe because they knew they were through, they rested people, and they didn't.
They
That was
didn't
pretty
know.
much a first string team. I was like,
Yeah, they just
okay,
changed a couple of defenders. That was it. So as soon as they play someone half decent, then we'll really understand what Germany have. But I've seen better teams, I believe. But I'm really looking forward to that Netherlands Morocco. I just can't wait for
look,
that one.
I'm looking forward. It's Wednesday. It's a while away yet, but we've got USA against Bosnia. Um, as I was saying to a couple of folk that were like, yeah, Bosnia, and they're already planning like who they might get in the next round. I'm like, Bosnia are a banana skin waiting to be slipped on because they're not a terrible team. And they could
Just
be one of those teams that could just turn up on the day and
Mhm.
be. USA have been really really good at the moment, where they've been physical and they've kind of almost had more athleticism than the teams that they've been up against. That's not to be derogatory and say they're not skillful, of course they are, but they've kind of relied on that. Well, Bosnia will match them. They will match them
Mhm.
physically. It'll be a really,
Yeah,
really.
just ask the Welsh and the Italians because they knocked out Wales and Italy. So they're no mugs,
They're not.
as
They're
they
not.
say.
So I think that'll be a cracking game.
Hmm.
Good atmosphere, and again, for the country in which we live and for the atmosphere of the tournament, I do hope the USA go through. But I just
Yes,
don't
me
think
too.
it'll be. I don't think it'll be the dead rubber that some of the folk I've been talking to are thinking. So on that note, I will get ready to play us out, John. Unless you've got any Jerry Springer style final thoughts.
I don't. Other than I hope something else happens because Senegal are looking like they're going to be playing England in the knockout stages at the moment. So I'm
Are they?
hoping. I don't want to face Mane. So I'm hoping that other things happen. Come on,
What what need
Scotland.
what needs to happen? We need to just basically have them move up or down in the third place
Yeah,
table, do we?
yeah, exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
let's get Cape Verde.
That would just be the worst full circle moment where after I've been championing it all the way through this World Cup diary, it's them that put England out, and I would just then look
We
like an
just
absolute idiot,
yeah.
which probably isn't anything new. So
We start a cricket podcast, and we move on.
oh, the batsman's holding the ball as Willie. Right, on that note, speak to you next time.